climbed the city walls in the dark of night and snuck into the city disguised as a beggar, evading patrols and suspicious townspeople. When he reached the walls of the city keep, the Dun fort, he scaled those by hand as well, even dispatching the wall guard before he could sound an alarm. With incredible bravery and luck, Sir Barristan made his way to the dungeons and freed his king. Then Sir Barristan's luck ran out. A cry went up through the castle. Someone had discovered the king was gone. With horns and trumpets blaring an alarm, Sir Barristan cut their way to the stables, avenging his slain Kingsguard brother, but taking an arrow to his chest. Slipping through the castle gate just as it closed, the wounded Sir Barristan and Aerys rode through the roused town, racing for the city walls and beyond it the safety of the royal army. Lord Tywin's archers raced forward to clear the walls of defenders, and Sir Barristan the Bold earned immortality by delivering King Aerys to the waiting, if not welcoming, arms of his hand. Without his hostage, Sir Dennis surrendered and begged mercy from the same king he'd imprisoned.
You're not getting it.
Would have had none. Aerys had less. He commanded Sir Dennis to be executed along with any man, woman, or child who bore his family name, and anyone who once had. As for Sir Dennis's foreign wife, who had urged his defiance, Aerys commanded that her tongue and womanly parts be torn out, and she be burned alive.
What?
It was his first time passing such a sentence. It must have given him a taste for it. For the king rescued from Duskendale was not the same king who had entered it. Many men would crack after 6 months in a dark cell, being mocked, prodded, and tweaked. Aerys had arrived cracked. Now he was shattered. For years he would refuse to leave the Red Keep, encouraged no doubt by his worried advisors, since he also refused to allow any blades near his person, even to shave his beard, cut his hair, and trim his nails. He began to see enemies in every shadow, who vanished only when the fires burned. Though the Targaryens had forged the Seven Kingdoms,
I wonder since this is like updated, I'm getting heli ads. Not heli ads, but you know what I'm saying. I'm getting the pop-ups. I don't recall getting the pop-ups before, unless maybe sometimes at the beginning. Hopefully everything goes well when it comes to this being posted.
until they did. Maegor, first of his name, defined council as confirmation and disagreement as treason. 3 Grand Maesters tried to avert disaster. Instead of taking their advice, Maegor took their heads.
Damn.
As a second son and exile, Maegor was never meant to rule. But no sooner did Maegor hear of his brother's death than he flew Balerion to Dragonstone and demanded the crown. Only the Grand Maester dared object that the throne should pass to his older brother's firstborn son, Prince Aegon. Maegor insisted that the Iron Throne should go to the man with the strength to seize it, and beheaded the Grand Maester. Prince Aegon soon took him at his word. He claimed his father's dragon, raised a host of Westermen, and marched on King's Landing while Maegor was in Old Town. Far from the capital, Maegor couldn't rally an army to match Aegon's, so he ordered his banners to swarm Aegon's larger army from all sides, confusing the young prince and slowing his advance. Beneath the god's eye, Maegor's disparate forces came together and attacked Aegon as Maegor himself swooped down from the clouds. For the first time since the doom of Valyria, dragon fought dragon in the sky. But Aegon's dragon was no match for Balerion the Dread, who was 4 times its size. When Aegon fell to his death, his army broke and fled. For slaying his own nephew, Maegor forever after became known as the Cruel, though of course not to his face. The next Grand Maester dared object to Maegor taking a 3rd wife, when taking his 2nd wife had ruined his brother's reign, because Maegor's first wife was the niece of the High Septon. But Maegor beheaded the Grand Maester and declared war on the Faith. He set fire to the Riverlands, the Westerlands, and the Reach in a campaign to root out disloyal lords, and sponsored a more pliant High Septon. None of it worked. Maegor may have returned to the capital with 2,000 skulls of the Faith militant, but most of them weren't soldiers. They were simple folk who had sheltered the outlaw septons, or turned out in droves to hear them denounce the wicked king. The third Grand Maester dared to declare Maegor the father of his own heir. But when his second wife miscarried, and Maegor saw the monstrous stillbirth, Maegor beheaded the Grand Maester for his insolent adherence to truth. So he had no one to warn him when his third wife, sensing an advantage, declared that his second wife had been unfaithful, and produced a list of potential fathers of the misshapen child. Not only did Maegor execute his second wife and her father, his own Hand of the King, but he also marched on her family's castle and slaughtered everyone who bore a drop of her family's blood.
Sheesh.
But his third wife couldn't give him a child either. Desperate to cement his stolen throne with an heir, Maegor took 3 wives at once, known as the Black Brides because each were women he'd widowed in his wars. All 3 women grew full with child in time, but each gave birth to the same twisted monstrosities as his second wife. One need not be a maester, much less a grand maester, to deduce the common thread here. Though Maegor stamped out the fires of rebellion, his cruelty and fear only scattered more tinder over the realm until even the smallest ember could set the realm alight. One day, the Faith Militant emerged from the shadows, and the lords sent to quash it joined it instead. His hand resigned and retired to his island home. Finally, House Baratheon declared for Maegor's own nephew as the rightful king. The Lannisters, Tyrells, and Arryns soon joined, adding more than half the might of Westeros to the prince and his 2 dragons, which became 3 when Maegor's niece and involuntary Black Bride stole away from the Red Keep with her dragon. Her treason wasn't even the last. Maegor's own Lord Admiral sailed the royal fleet into his nephew's harbor, but most fitting of all, when Maegor tried to send ravens to call his banners, he found that his 4th Grand Maester had learned from his predecessors and fled. Maegor spent one final...
I would have been out of there.
He was found in the morning with his wrists slashed and one of the throne's blades jutting from his throat. Nobody knows if it was one of his queens, or Kingsguard, or one of the thousands who wanted him dead, or even Maegor himself, frustrated that his body had failed his will. Whoever the culprit, no doubt he died as all tyrants do, believing that history would vindicate him. It hasn't. History may be written with fire and blood, but histories aren't. As any good advisor could have warned him.
Hold on, now you guys, hold on. There's some, hold on. Okay, I'm about to say, man. I'm about to say. I was like, I know damn well I ain't watched, like, you know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying. I just saw the thumbnail. I'm like, wait, hold on a minute. But, yeah, man. It's like bittersweet. It feels actually bittersweet than, you know, when it comes to ending the show. Ending the show. Like, make sure y'all, you know what I'm saying? Because this is about 3 weeks after finishing the show. And it's like, when I watch it, I'm like, well, I had these lower expectations. So, like, yo, you know what they said in Spider-Man No Way Home. Expect disappointment so you'll never be disappointed. Listen, I was expecting the very worst. I was expecting every single person to die. And I was expecting the episode to be 30 times worse than the Bells. And it's just like, after you're watching, you're just kind of like, well, I guess it's better than the Bells. But then every second that passes, you're just like, oh wow, this is a thing to be disappointed about. This is a thing to be disappointed about. So I guess when it came to the Bells, it was more or less, what is this? And when it came to I don't remember what the last episode was called. When it came to the last episode, it's just like disappointment. And like, it's like, who is the Night King? What was the point with all that build up to Daenerys just for her to like to instantly just flip the script and then get bodied? I get you want to put Jon back to where, like, not where he started, but like where it all began from him, but it seems like we really defeated the Night King this time, so why is there a Night's Watch? And I thought the wall was destroyed. I think I've been said that like multiple times. I thought it was destroyed. I was like, maybe it was a part of it. And is he just escorting the wildlings back, or is he actually going to live with them? If he's living with them, that's a little bit different. Also, oh yeah, listen, this you should already know. Also, where did the Dothraki go? Also, how did Daenerys' armies keep spawning back in? You started with 8,000 unsullied. You at least had 4,000 after the long night. Okay, multiple times we see like you're just armies getting smaller and smaller. Yet when we get to the finale, I'm like, damn, you got heli soldiers. This looking like shit about the same amount that you started with. Dothraki. I could have sworn they all got, like, if you said, okay, we have like 50 Dothraki left, I'll be like, okay, you had this big, you know what I'm saying, big shit, you probably had more Dothraki at one point than you had Unsullied. Okay, you're down to like 50. I'll be like, alright, you got your, you know what I'm saying, you got your good little Khalasar. Alright. Now, I would have thought y'all got body, but, you know, I'll accept that, you know, 50 of y'all out of, let's just say 10,000 or however many got out of their life. Okay, cool. Like, that's not a good mortality rate for y'all, but still. And then, what else? I don't know if I said this already, but where did they go? Where did they go after Daenerys died? They just like disappeared. So I guess they're pulling up on some random kingdoms or some random wherever, and they're just going crazy. Also, listen, I get Grey Worm going I get Grey Worm leaving, but like I know you the commander and shit, but you bring your whole army, and even it's kind of less. I see you leaving. Not that Miss Sandy died, but now your whole army going there. And then now that you leave, what, like I said, what's stopping Jon Snow from being like, okay, we'll go to the wall. Okay, alright, bye y'all, blah blah blah, and then going straight back to King's Landing. And what was the point of the whole storyline of like Jon being a Targaryen? Because at that point, I said I was rewatching the show with my mom. Hopefully she's not hearing me, dude. Fuck, dude. And she needs me for something right now too. That's tough. What's the point of that whole storyline? It's not like y'all did anything with it. The only thing y'all did was make some conflict between him and Daenerys. What else? What was Jaime's arc? Because it's like the one thing that I really was saying I was holding him back was Cersei. The whole time Cersei holding him back. So you have this, and then it seems we moved on from that finally. I heard that was sooner in the books, and I can't wait to see the contrast with that. See, I'll be even more mad. I'll be even more mad if I came from the books to the show. This is why I said last history and lore when it came to adaptations and the source material. I like the adaptations and then go on the source material first, because I don't want to be like, okay, this is my favorite character, then go to the adaptation. It's just like, y'all fucking ruined him. Like with the when you do the adaptation first, you can you know when you go into the source material, it's going to be more in depth for the most part. All right, so what was the whole point of that whole Jamie backtracking thing? Like, bruh said, what did he say? He said he don't give a shit about anyone in King's Landing. But then why did you kill the Mad King? Why did you go and fight the Long Night? Shit, if anything, you could have just went with the you could have just been like, hey, Cersei, let's go to Essos. Like let's travel across the narrow sea. It feels really about just survival. Like, okay, then we have to do this or we're gonna die. Shit. If that's an opportunity to survive, hey, go take a trip over there, man. We're going on a trip. Like, dude. So you fought in the Long Night and you killed the Mad King. This cuz then? That's what your arc is telling me. What else? This. I guess it stands even after she dies. This dude Gendry's still a lord. And then don't get me started on Bran, dude. Like, I know, okay, yeah, he ended the first episode and it's kind of just like, this is how it's kind of like, what's it called, poetic, but dude, didn't you say you can't be lord of anything? And then why do you think I came all this way? Like, I don't even remember what my reaction was to it, but I just remember just after finishing the episode just being like, wait, what? And then Cersei and Jaime by rubble, dude. Bro, what? Oh, that was the bells. My bad. I'm strictly talking about the finale. I think Theon had one of the best character arcs. I just wasn't that big, like very attached to his character. And then I said it in the video that I posted recently. What? It's like the thing when it came to Jaime. Like, when I'm watching that, I don't know anyone else's feedback. So I don't know if people will like Jaime's arc, or I don't know if people were like, Theon's their favorite character. So I'm watching it and being like, I get what you're coming through. I get what you're going through, but I can't relate. I can't relate when it comes to Jaime, like, keep going back to Cersei, and I can't relate to Theon when it comes to, listen, your father was a piece of shit. Just because he's your father does, I mean, I guess we could say it's a little different when it goes to their world, but like, listen, if your family member is a piece of shit, like, I ain't gonna, like, it's raps at that point. But let me know what y'all think in the comments down below by the whole series in general. It's my last Game of Thrones video, man. Now, this is not the last one posted. I got like 3 more after this, but 3 or 4 more, but it's my last one being recorded, man. May 9th. Remember when I said all 9th episodes and this, like, there was something that happened? That's fucked up, and I was like, that's kind of how in my life there's a point in time where the 9th was the worst of every month. Like, some dumb shit always had to happen on the 9th. I thought I was out of it, but it really happened today, dude. Really happened today. Today really got me reevaluating my life, dude. That's crazy. But let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. If you liked the video, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, share with your friends. Stay tuned for the next one. It's been Interaction by the World's Coolest Nerd, and I'm out.